Welcome to the Money Manifestation Mastery Podcast with your host, Lara Waldman, where we talk all things money. Big money, big purpose, big power. Waking up your wealth for heart-centered business owners and entrepreneurs. In today's episode, we are going to wake up your wanting and work your wounds. Discover the dance between your wants and desires, the wealthy future that you're here to create, and your wounds, your past trauma, and how to work with them, hold them, so you can consciously create the future that you desire. Welcome back to another episode of the Money Manifestation Mastery Podcast. Before we dive in, I would love to know how you have been enjoying this podcast so far. If you wouldn't mind taking a moment to rate and review this podcast, I would deeply appreciate it. And if you know anyone who would benefit from the information in this podcast, please share. It is my mission to get this beautiful body of work into the hands of as many big-hearted business owners, entrepreneurs, and leaders as possible. Thank you for your support. On my journey of conscious wealth creation, welcoming more money into my business, into my bank account, guided by my heart, body, and soul, I discovered something really interesting. Every time I tried to move forward with what I wanted, what I was being guided to do, I would hit up against a roadblock, against an obstacle. Essentially, I froze and I was unable to move forward. This really confused me in the beginning and created a huge amount of pain and frustration. I couldn't understand why I was struggling to move forward with something that was so beautiful. If it was the vision guided by my soul, guided by my heart, guided by my body, then why was I not able to move forward? Why was I so stuck? I couldn't understand why every time I tried to move forward, it felt like I was taking a whole bunch of steps back. One step forward, two steps back. I've learned everything I share here the hard way, and it is my intention to fast track your progress, your results, and hopefully help you move forward much faster than I was able to myself. What I discovered is there is a dance between your wants and your wounds. There is a dance between what it is you deeply desire and your past pain or past trauma. And on the journey of integrated wealth, meaning that you are creating wealth in every area of your life, not just money, not just business, but making sure that all of you is receiving, we go on a deep and rich journey within. You know that saying, be careful what you wish for? Well, today's episode will explain that, because you may get what you want, but a whole lot of unexpected things can come along with that. And what I want to do is put a spotlight on this for you and help explain to you the inner workings of manifestation, what's happening on this journey of heart, body, soul aligned wealth creation, because there is a lot going on behind the scenes in our big, beautiful blind spots. The first step is to get clear on what you want. Now, you may know what you want. That may be very clear for you. Sometimes people are not clear on what they want, what they truly want, what they truly desire, and what I call a truly wealthy life. What is a truly wealthy life for you? What is it that you really want? Now, what's really interesting is sometimes there's a lot of entanglements around that question. There's a lot of confusion around that question because without realizing it, you may have taken on other people's wants or desires. You may have taken on other ideas from society or family or the culture that you've been raised in about what you should want or what you should desire. With this path, we're going deeper and connecting to you, who you are, what it is that you want. And this can be a journey to even discover this very first step. What is it that you want? I use money as an activator for this question. So, how much money do you want? How much money do you want to be paying yourself each month, every year? How much money do you want coming through your business every month, every year? I like to work with this question from the consciousness of your heart, your soul, that future wealthy you, because this part of you is going to expand your thinking and expand your perspective and expand your point of view. But you can decide. You can decide what you want. It might be a logical, practical decision around how much money you want to be bringing in each month, each year. Or you may want to expand out into a bigger vision and tap into where it is that you're going, which is going to take you on a slightly different journey. I recommend getting clear on both amounts. What's your next step money goal? And what's that bigger vision money goal? You can visit some of my earlier podcast episodes to help you with this question. But if you're struggling with clarity on what you want, a really nice exercise is to ask the following question through journaling or meditation. If you had all of the resources, all of the support, all of the money, all of the time, all of the energy that you needed, and you felt completely safe, what would you choose? This is a great question to cut through all the noise and tap into what it is that you truly want. And when you're clear on what you want, you've got that clear, focused goal and intention. The next step is to start taking action towards that goal, towards that intention. And this is what I call aligned action. Once you know where you're going and what you want, and attempt to move forward through aligned action, some interesting things start to appear. And this is where consciously or often unconsciously in your beautiful blind spots, your wounds start to wake up. Your trauma can get triggered. And this shows up in lots of ways, but often in the unconscious. And so I want to put a loving spotlight on this aspect of yourself because most people are unaware of how their wounds are playing out in their business and their finances as they're trying to go forward and create what it is that they want, the desired results. Wounding shows up on a lot of different levels. This shows up on the level of the mind, what you're thinking, the stories that you're telling yourself, your beliefs. On the level of your emotions, what you're feeling. Or through the body, through ill health or burnout, or symptoms that's showing up in your physical body. Essentially, we're talking about trauma and we're talking about your nervous system. So these wounds live deep inside of us, but most people are unconscious about their wounding, unconscious about their trauma. And it shows up in all sorts of ways. So we want to start paying attention to the signs and the symptoms. So for highly driven, successful CEOs, business owners, leaders, and professionals that I work with, I've noticed some themes, some patterns. This level of driven and successful business owners can often feel like they are carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders, holding it all up. This sense of responsibility. They can be rushing around with never enough time, too much to do, going into comparing themselves with others, like something I like to call comparisonitis or competition, competing with others. And as we go a little bit deeper, what we'll find there is this pattern of never enough. It's never enough. They're never enough. Things should be better. I should be further ahead. This deep knowing that somewhere they're not living up to their full potential or full capacity. And there's a deep frustration around that. So they go into hyper overdrive, hypervigilance, overworking, hustling for success. They're very hard on themselves. They're very hard on others sometimes. So these business owners are successful on the outside. Most people would judge them as successful, even though this business owner is often not feeling like a success. Because inside, they may feel like a hot mess. Externally, things look good, but internally, things are falling apart. Or they're really struggling, or just about holding everything together. And the cracks start to show. They may not show up in money. They may not show up in business even, but they may be showing up in other areas like health or relationships or home life. They may not have enough downtime. Their quality of life may be affected. And when we go a little bit deeper with this driven business owner, we'll find that inside they feel alone and unsupported. And there may also be addictive patterns of behavior that they feel shame about, that they wouldn't want anyone else to find out about, that are playing out, ways to self-soothe amongst all of this stress and overwhelm of their day-to-day life. So these are just some of the patterns that I've noticed through many conversations with business owners, with clients, to understand like the deeper workings of what's going on behind the scenes. And if you relate to this, I want you to know, number one, that you're not alone. And number two, there's a deeper and richer process ready and waiting for you. There is a way to turn all of this around. So most of the time we are fumbling into our future or falling into our future, unconsciously creating the results that you are currently experiencing. But if you can get on the front foot and get into conscious wealth creation, it's possible to create in your business and your finances in alignment with what it is that you truly want. Your wounds will show up in all sorts of ways. In the thoughts that you think, the stories that you're telling yourself, the beliefs that you have, in your emotions, how you're feeling, through your body, symptoms that show up in your body, and essentially through your nervous system. We want to get to the root of the wound and learn how to hold your wounds so that you can create your wealth. As you hold your wounds, that makes sure that you are taking action from an aligned place, from a balanced place, from a regulated nervous system. This means that you will be creating more consciously in your business, your finances, and your life. But we need to go a little bit deeper to do that. So the good news is that my step-by-step money manifestation mastery process is designed to help you regulate your nervous system, hold your wounds, connect deeply to your body, to your heart, to your soul, so that you are consciously creating in your business and your finances on purpose. As you create in your business and your finances, as you move forward to create the wealthy future that you truly desire, at the same time, you are transforming old trauma patterns. You are healing your wounds. So as you connect to what you want, you also need to work those wounds. They go together. And this is why sometimes you will be experiencing one step forward, two steps back. What could feel like failure or things not working. Now, of course, there's always a practical level to the results that you're experiencing in your business and your finances. But within that, there is you, the beautiful business owner. And when you can be in the driver's seat of what you're doing and why you're doing it, consciously creating rather than your wounds or your trauma patterns leading, that wealthy leader, that empowered, whole, healed, complete version of yourself can take the reins while we hold and nurture and look after your wounding. With the Money Manifestation Mastery process, you are healing your past as you build your future, helping you to build your future on solid, stable foundations, starting within as you build without. So if you're finding yourself frustrated with setbacks, with challenges, with obstacles, with things that aren't working, the symptoms that are showing up in your finances or your business, you're not anywhere near the capacity that you know that you could be or should be, I highly recommend going within and having a look at what is going on inside your inner game of conscious wealth creation. The more conscious you can be with what's running you, what's fueling you, what's driving you, and the action that you're taking from that place, the more empowered you will be. You will be a greater leader for yourself and for others. Do the work, and the work will also work you. So your wants and desires are taking you on a journey of deep healing, of transformation. Alchemize the past in order to consciously create in your future. In order to move forward, we need to transform what happened in the past. And they go together. They work together. They dance together. So please be patient with yourself, kind to yourself, loving to yourself as you navigate this world of conscious wealth creation. It is not for the faint-hearted, my friend. It is for big-hearted business owners, leaders, entrepreneurs that are here to pave new pathways, new ways of doing things, making waves in the world for your life and the lives of others. Thank you for joining us for today's episode. Wake up your wanting, work your wounds. If you would like any support with transforming your wounds to wake up that next level of wealth in your business, in your finances, and your life, then head over to my website, larawaldman.com. We have many resources there to support you, masterclasses, online retreats, one-to-one calls with me. There's all sorts of ways that we can support you even further. Don't hesitate to reach out. I'd love to hear from you. And I look forward to being with you again next time for another episode of the Money Manifestation Mastery podcast. See you then.